Hi, I'm Andrew Harrison, and today we're going to do a basic tree climbing demonstration in this tautara, Podocarpus tautara. It's a well-branched tree. The branch spacing is only between 1 and 3 meters apart, so it's easy throwing distance in between each one. The main things I want to cover today are double checking every time you make a changeover. So the things that we'll be doing, first of all, we'll need to check the site. We need to check the vicinity around the tree, and we need to check the tree itself. This tree is well branched. It's been dead wooded within the last 24 months. So there's no major dead wooded up there. It's been climbed last year by the Wintec students. So there's no structural defects. The main things that we want to emphasize are making sure you have your rope or lanyard on a secure point in the tree, so it is on a sound branch or around the stem. You don't want to be roping into tight forks, small branches, dead branches, or anything that is in any other way compromised. Every time you make a changeover, you need to visually check and then load your system before you disconnect the previous system. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below, and you know, as all YouTubers do, say subscribe, like, all that stuff. So anyway, we'll get on with the job.
First thing we need to do is install our climbing line. Various ways we can do this. Today I'm just going to be coiling and throwing the rope. I'll do another video on the alternative methods at some other time. So I like to coil it up and then spread the coiled parts in both hands. You can throw overarm, underarm, just depends on the height that you're going for. If you coil it nicely, then it will just unravel and come back down next to where you're going. So obviously in a doubled rope, or some people might like to call this method a moving rope system, you need to isolate one single branch at the top. I'm just climbing today on a simple English prusik, 3 coils. I clipped the prusik loop on to my carabiner first, and then put the splice end in. Make sure that your carabiner is orientated in the long axis so that it's not side loaded, and I like to have the prusik on the right hand side. Body thrusting up, using the branches as I can with my legs, keeping my body fairly horizontal. Once I reach my first anchor point, then I'm going to reach around the stem, in this case with my lanyard. I'm going to hook the carabiners onto the lower D-rings down by the bridge. It's recommended if you are going to be putting weight into your harness from above that you do it this method. So here I need to recoil my rope, throwing to the branch above. We think it's very useful to be good at throwing your rope, because you are going to have to do this up in the tree. So if you practice from the ground, then you will get better at it up in the tree. So that's why we don't give our students throw lines right from day one. We think they need to learn to throw a rope. Anyway, so notice here I'm tensioning up my climbing system and putting my weight into that system prior to disconnecting my lanyard. In this case, actually, I don't even need to take my lanyard off. Point to note, I'm a right-hander, so if you are a left-hander, you may like to configure your system in the opposite orientation. So installing my cambium saver here, lanyard still on, taking the climbing rope out through the small ring first and then through the large ring. Visually check that I'm attaching that splice into the carabiner keep the carabiner orientated in the upright position. Notice here I'm not disconnecting my lanyard straight away. I'm putting my weight into the climbing system and checking it prior to releasing my lanyard. Visually checking my lanyard's hooked in, although that's not for life support at that stage. Descending down, I've got left hand above the prusik, right hand down the rope further. Put a bit of slack in the line before I disconnect. Normally, before removing your climbing system, you would check that all of the work has been done in the tree. However, in this case, it's just a demonstration, so I'm just going to take the rope straight out. I'm going to use the little bobble or retriever ball, or some people call it a cherry, just that girth hitches into the end of the splice. Pull it up from the running side of the rope. That will go through the large ring on the cambium saver, catch on the small ring, and as you can see, it just pops out
All clear.
nice and smoothly, and oh, nice catch. Just for emphasis, always double check and visually check that your carabiner is attached securely to your D-ring. Your carabiner can get caught on clothing or can clip into other parts of the harness. So if you want to stay in the tree, always visually check and load your system before disconnecting the other.